Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. Daniel here. Welcome back to another episode. Today's topic is going to be about forgiveness. Now, forgiveness is such a cliche topic in the Muslim community. As Muslims, we know that we should want for others what we would want for ourselves, and that we shouldn't hold a grudge for more than 3 days. And it's stereotypically known as a very selfless act, right? Be the better man, right? I don't want to talk about that aspect of forgiveness. I want to talk about the benefits that would have on you. And I'm not talking about like, oh, you'll be a better Muslim and all that. That all is there, right? Those are like the icing on top of the cake. I want to talk about the actual benefits it would have on you. Studies have shown that people who are, more forgiving are people who actually have stronger immune systems, they have healthier relationships, they are able to sleep better at night. So why is that the case, right? I'm not going to get into all the science and stuff, just like briefly summarize it, right? I want you to imagine when you're upset with someone, right? For whatever reason, they were disrespectful, they treated you. We're going to talk about lighthearted stuff, right? We're not even going to go to the extremes of, of what people can do. People can get very nasty, right? It really hurts. So imagine when you come across someone like that, right? And how do you feel after, right? They probably, you just pass by them in a hallway, right? Or, they called and you just heard their voice or something, right? Doesn't it just ruin your vibe? I know for me, it just ruins my vibe. I'm like, a little antsy for a while, right? And I just need to get over it. For some people, that can take days. Some people, that could take weeks. Now imagine all that weight that you have on your shoulder, all those negative emotions that you're feeling, right? Now imagine more than one person that you don't like, right? It multiplies 2-3 people, right? Just people left and right, just upsetting you, right? Bothering you. The thing is that we think that if we do not deal with an emotion, it will eventually go away, that it will subside. I want you to picture this. I want you to picture just like dirt that you're throwing on top of something, right? You're throwing on top of something, right? Different kinds of dirt. At the end of the day, it's still dirt, but you won't know at the end of the day what's what, where is it coming from, right? It's all just a pile of dirt. That's kind of how your emotions are going to work, especially your negative emotions. They're just going to keep piling over each other if you do not learn to process it, right? If you do not learn to let it go. And letting go is actually, just imagine, right? All that weight you take, right? All that weight that's keeping you down, you just take it and you chuck it out the window. Just imagine how much lighter you would feel. Just imagine the freedom you would be feeling, that someone does not have that much power over you anymore, right? Now, one of the things that people tend to tell me is that, Daniel, this person does not deserve forgiveness, right? My question to them is, who are you forgiving them for? Are you forgiving them for themselves? You're right, maybe, maybe they don't deserve forgiveness. But one thing is actually something I want you to think about is that, are you forgiving them for them, or are you forgiving them for yourself, right? We say that that person doesn't deserve forgiveness. Forgiving them does not mean that it's justifiable what they did to you, right? It does not minimize the hurt that they've done to you. It does not minimize the harm that you felt, right? The pain that you felt. And it does not mean that things are back to normal, right? Forgiving someone does not mean that things are back to normal, right? You want to, yes, learn your lesson from that situation. And, if someone broke your trust, they need to earn that trust. It's not something you could just give them because you forgave them. Forgiveness is not for them. Forgiveness is for yourself, right? So that's the self part that I wanted to talk about when it comes to forgiveness. So now there's another extra component, right? And that is forgiving yourself. A lot of us are highly critical of who we are, at a time where everything is being comparable, everything is being measured, right? We tend to just measure ourselves in terms of other people, in terms of spouses, in terms of family, in terms of friends, in terms of coworkers, in terms of whoever, right? Just as simple as social media, we're just so influenced by other people and we tend to compare ourselves, right? And during this pandemic, while things are going crazy, right? Just admit it, you're not going to be in your A game, right? you are going to lack in some part of your life. And if you make that mistake, right, if you don't do well this semester at school, if you know if you do not respond to every email at work, if you do not pick up calls at the same time, right, if you decide to mute like chats, that's not a defect in you in any way, right? It's an overwhelming time. I would like for you to try to be more forgiving of who you are. For you, one of the things that I tell people is that all that negative self-negative talk that we tend to tell each other, right? Now, obviously, this causes a lot of self-reflection to be aware and mindful of us doing that. Imagine if we took all those words and we said it to someone else. Do you think they would tolerate that? No, we would not talk to anyone else that way. So why do we talk to ourselves that way? Why do we have those negative thoughts about ourselves? Forgive yourself. It's okay. You're human, right? We're not perfect, and that's what makes us beautiful. So a little homework is that spend some time to reflect on yourself. People who have hurt you. Forgiveness is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. But when is a better time to start that process? When in Ramadan, right? And this is where the icing on top comes, where it makes you a better Muslim too. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows your intentions, and as you're able to start that process of forgiving people, we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be way more forgiving of our sins and who we are as human beings in Yawm al-Qiyamah. So that's it for today's video. I'll see you next time. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.